Hello, whoever is there watching. I have someone. Whoever you are, I am going to basically recreate one of the pictures, paintings I did in my haiku series because I loved it so much. I'm going to recreate it as a painting. And it was interesting because I had this canvas. Hi, hello, whoever's watching. I had this canvas with this green on it. I had done, I don't know how long ago, and didn't really know what I was going to do with it. And again, I worked on the haikus today. I got 4 pages to paint. They're all sketched and inked and ready to go, but I just wanted a break from them. So I got this out so I can paint my bridge. This is kind of a cross between a visual of some of the bridges I grew up with, and then just my own thought process. Nothing too doesn't really represent any particular bridge. Not any that I ever saw. So it is technically meant to be kind of more of a rectangular landscape, but that's okay because that's kind of part of the point. I don't want it to be exactly the same as the first one. You know? So. That's cool. Okay. What are you doing, Capone? Capone is trying to act like a badass. Oh, though technically he is. He is not a dog you want to get on the wrong side of ever. Because he don't take no prisoners. So this should be quite different than what the piece, the haiku piece, was like. But that's kind of the point. son of a... I should... Hello. If you're there, feel free to say hi. Say hi, bye. Do your little drive-by. Maybe I should start singing. Or say, create some poetry out loud while I'm sitting here. Probably not going to do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm totally seeing it. Hi, Timothy. Long time no see. Shrimp in a bucket. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's so cool. I don't know if you're from Louisiana, Miss the shrimp person, but I am. And this piece, Timothy and whoever's still there, this piece is actually a little bit, or a lot of it influenced by some of the bridges and stuff back home, in addition to the Coronado Bridge. Not that the Coronado Bridge doesn't look anything like this, really. But yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, hair. Ooh. Not from Louisiana, but close enough. Yeah, well, shrimp in a bucket. Yeah, I just love shrimp. One of my favorite foods. Grew up on it. That and crawfish, crab, all that good stuff. All that jazz. You know? I was just wandering the stream world to get my mind off some things. So here you are. That's so cool, because I actually, so this is a piece that I pulled out to work on because I did this image, a similar image, in a panel of a story page in a haiku book I'm working on illustrating. And I had this canvas that had this green on it, and I'm going to make that much darker. I'll probably do something different with the green, but I was like, oh, I want to recreate that haiku as a painting. So that is what you're watching. You're watching me recreate it in bigger form. I just, the haiku one, I loved it so much that I was like, I'm going to have to try to see if I can do a painting as good as that illustration is. It's just a drawing on a piece of paper. This is an attempt to turn it into a painting. I'm sorry, haiku. Haiku is it's a poem. It's a special, particular kind of poem. It follows a very specific format of syllables. One haiku is 3 lines. The first line is going to be 5 syllables. The second line is going to be 7. And then the third line is another 5. So what my book is that I'm working on is I basically took the haikus and illustrated them in a format like a story format. So when you look at the haiku, it lines up with the image and the illustration. The illustration is a kind of a visual symbolism representation of what the haiku is conveying. Illustrated poetry, basically. Taking being a painter, because that's I think like the 2 most consistent things I answer when I talk about my creativity is that I'm a poet and I'm a painter. Those are not the only 2, but those are the big ones. Those are my favorites. Those are the 2 big ones. Definitely got a whole bunch of other stuff that I do, but those are my favorite. Anyway, so this is like one of the first times I'm basically coming in and I'm taking the whole thing, the whole poetry and the painting, and putting them together in an illustrated way, illustrated series, graphic. It's called a graphic illustration book series. Normally I just paint on canvas. I used to paint on paper. So doing the illustrations have been a lot of it's been kind of like going back to some old ways I used to do stuff when I did art on paper. I don't really do art on a computer. So most of what I'm doing is on paper with paint, watercolors, markers, that kind of stuff. I don't know the first thing. I know, okay, that's not true. I kind of know a little bit. I've learned, I've kind of taught myself a little bit about how to do some stuff in the digital world. Definitely would not say to call me if you need help with digital or with anything on the computer. I don't think I would be your girl. I would definitely not be helpful on that. I'm going to turn this so you guys can see what I'm about to do up here. So the thing I like about the fact that there's that green back there already is that I'm going to come in here with this blue. So it's going to end up basically having kind of a mixture of the hues, which is just fine by me. The haiku painting, the painting I did in the haiku, is very dark. It's a black and white. So this is going to be a drastic difference between, I've never delved into poetry, so hearing you illustrating it's new to me. Aw. Well, if you follow whenever you feel like it, if you're ever curious, I've been coming online and doing them on my Twitch. And actually just this morning, penciled 4 of the pages that are going to be in the book. And then I inked them offline, but I'll probably paint them online this week. I basically have plenty to do. I have plenty to do when I come online. I have got plenty of art to share with people and come on and let you guys watch me do what I do, which is a new thing. Letting someone watch me do this is new. I didn't come online live doing any art until, for the first time I did it was on Mother's Day. I had never done it before that. So this is new for me. This whole world of coming on here and doing my art, any of my art, and letting people watch, that's new. That's a new me. It's been kind of fun. It's funny, like once I took my ego out of it, this became super fun actually. Coming on here. I don't know. It's not that I'm definitely not a shy person. I've done stand-up stand-up comedy for goodness sakes. I never had a problem going on stage for that. That's easy as pie. It's so crazy too. Not even my first time. I wasn't ever nervous going on stage to do stand-up. Actually, that's not true. I was kind of nervous the last time I went because I went and I did stand-up about 2 months ago, but it was because I hadn't done it on stage for like 12 years because I had taken a hiatus, and that was a little nerve-wracking to go back to the stage after having been away from it for so long. I've been writing comedy this whole time. I just hadn't been performing it. So but I did okay. Did a little, I think I had 3-minute set. I didn't bomb, so anything's better. Anything that's not a bomb is a good experience, so that's good. I've only really had, like in all of the times I ever did stand up, there's a few times that a few of the jokes didn't work, but to quote unquote bomb, nah, not really. Where did your inspiration for showing your work live come from? Oh, wow. Well, that's a really good question, actually. I hadn't even really considered it. And then I have a live broadcast talk show that I do on an annual basis. And in February, I started planning for this year's broadcasts, and I was planning that. And through the course of it, I met a woman named Christy Shin. She is she's a comic book creator, artist, illustrator. She does a comic strip called Demon Bitch. And she was on my show. She was my second guest, actually, last Sunday. She was my show because I'm in the middle of my second season. Tomorrow is episode 3. And so Christy Shin goes live during her lunch hour and lets people watch her create. And she creates digitally. And I just love her. I've been watching her now for a couple months. I basically spend a lot of my lunch hours with her, where I'll take my lunch, I'll plan my actual work lunch around her schedule, and so that I can, watch her, or I can sketch or paint. So yeah, watching her and some other comic book illustrators that I started following. I follow artists on Twitch. Most of the channels I follow on Twitch are artists. I follow my brother for sure. He's a gamer. But otherwise, most of the people I follow on Twitch are artists. And the Christy Shin and Rich Parada. If you like watching anyone do art, I would suggest searching them out and finding their channels. Rich Parada's channel is on YouTube. It's called The Richness. Christy Shin she's on Twitch and YouTube. You can find her. I think her channel's called Horatora Studios. But yeah, those two creators had a lot to do with giving me, the courage, the inspiration to go live and let people see what I do. There are a few pieces that I am doing for not the haiku book, but I have another poetry book that I'm illustrating. I'm going to work on that one after I'm done with the haikus. That one I have to do some of the pieces. I can't do them on because there's nudes in that. There's going to be some nudes in that book, and YouTube and Twitch and some of the other channels, they get all wigged out. Even if it's nudity and art, they get all like lunatic about it and prudish. So those I've kind of just worked on offline. So yeah. Okay. That's cool. Ow. It's like, what color? What color do I want down there? Oh. No plan. One of my favorite channels to watch on Twitch actually is the Bob Ross channel. Clearly, Bob Ross himself is not the one who runs the channel because he is not with us anymore. He passed away a long time ago. But I love that channel. I'll catch that channel and watch old episodes of Bob Ross painting. I just love him. He's such. I kind of, definitely know he influenced me for sure because I don't follow rules. I'm sorry if I don't talk all that much. I'm kind of baffled how much the color changed the mood of this piece. Right? Oh, you are not even kidding on that one. Oh man, let's see. I can try. I can start off any piece I do, and I can really, really try to make a concerted effort to keep it pastel. And I will fail almost every single time. Not a pastel painter. I just, yeah. So that's just what usually happens. Like I'll be in the middle of what I'm doing and then boom, all of a sudden I'm like, you know what this needs? This needs some bright red. And you know what's cool about that is that it ironically, you mentioned mood, is that when I was younger, I only worked in black charcoal. And part of it was because I was always depressed and I suffered from serious, sincere, dark depression. And now I've gotten a lot of help with that. I've gotten a lot of ways to manage and cope with that. And so I don't suffer from it. I can be prone to it. Sure. I can have situations come up that make me sad, but I don't have like the serious, like super horrible chronic depression like I used to. And what happened with that kind of like in conjunction with it is my painting and my art went from this very just one color, dark black and white charcoal world to colors. Tons of colors. Now I'm the exact opposite. Like I like I said, I have a hard time keeping anything pastel. And what's cool is the original of this, and I know that's part of why I came in with all this color. The original of this is a black and white. There's really no color to it. I also don't necessarily always follow the rules about what colors are supposed to be what. So I'm in that space now. What helped you pull yourself out of that dark place? This is one of them. Part of why I do my art on a daily basis. I create something daily. Whether it is a poem or a sketch, or both. I can't remember when I really, like, if I were to sit here and try to tell you or try to come up with whatever last day it was that I didn't create something, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. It's for me. The other thing that has helped me get past depression, and I know it's a sad truth, but other people dying. I'm 51, so at this point in my life, I've been to enough funerals to know that there's not a single situation in life that's anywhere near as drastic or as bad as dying. So gratitude and getting grateful for my life the way that it is, even if it fucking sucks, even if I'm in the pit of it like you're describing, even if I'm in that place, I'm not fucking dead. And as long as I'm not fucking dead, it's not the end. It's just not the end. It could be worse, because the worst is that. And and going back to like all these, these other people that have died, and I've gone to these funerals and stuff. So a lot, some of those people didn't really choose to die. It's not like they weren't suicides. But they were people that died that could have prevented their death. I mean, I'm in recovery, so that was part of it. And I just thought about it, and I'm like, God, I just don't ever want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that chooses to lose my life and leave people behind all sad about me gone. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to anybody. I don't want to leave them with that pain like I had or have had from people that have gone. So, but yeah, on just a personal, like one-on-one for yourself, for me, gratitude is a huge one. Gratitude and being appreciative of what I have and getting out of my poor me pity party or whatever it might be that's causing it. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons why. Recognizing what causes it is a good start too, because I know for me, I had to recognize that a lot of my depression was situational. So it wasn't necessarily clinical depression requiring like a doctor or treatment or something like that. It was legitimately being in a place where, what was I? Oh, situational. Just being depressed because of whatever the situation was. And now I just get to that place where, okay, well, whatever the situation is, I have to look at it and go, okay, can I change this? Is there something I can do to change this? Because if there isn't, then I just kind of, for me, I give it to God. I do have a God in my life. That has helped. That's another thing that has helped, is having spirituality. And even if you don't have a God, meditation is good. Grounding is good. If you're near any kind of water, go swimming, go get wet, take your shoes off. Oh my God. Shrimp in a bucket, if you're still there and you're still listening to me, you can't be crazy barefoot. So that's a huge one. Take your shoes off. Seriously. Those words of yours are very enlightening. How did you come across art and poetry as your form of expression? I don't have an outlet. And when, I have a quote in one of my books that says, the only adults that are not artists are the ones that stopped coloring. And it may sound like the most, kindergarten trivial thing, but this haiku series that I'm actually doing, each volume is going to have 2 editions. It's going to have the first one's going to be all color and all this. And in terms of where I got poetry and art from, poetry was my escape. It was kind of my way of keeping a diary without having to actually write anything real down. That's where I got the poetry from. Art, painting and stuff, that just, I'm a kinesthetic person. I like having something to do with my hands. And I would sketch, even with just a pencil. I sketched on like notebooks. I get it. You put a piece of paper and a pencil in my hand from a young age, I was going to sketch something. One of my favorite stories about Steven Spielberg is how he said his parents would allow him to paint or draw on the walls in their house. He was allowed to do that throughout the house. And he said it had everything to do with him being creative and growing up with this really brilliant creative imagination, was because his parents gave him that freedom. So going back to your question about finding an outlet, get a coloring book. I mean, like, for real. I've known a lot of people that have done that. And what's cool about it, because even I do it, that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, pretty much. I mean, no, there's no lines here. There was no preset lines on this canvas, and I'm just going at it. But that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just coloring at this point. I mean, the format's here. the bridge is here, that's done. Now, really what you're watching me do is add paint. I'm basically coloring it. And I don't know. I kind of like what I'm doing. I kind of don't. I don't know. We'll see, because I've been known to do some crazy shit to a watercolor. I get to a point where I did one today. I did a watercolor today, and I got to this point where I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. So I literally took, I have a spray bottle with water, and I sprayed it. I sprayed the canvas. I wiped all the paint off the canvas, and I started over. And the finished piece, I love. She's hanging on the wall, and she's definitely, it was worth it. It was worth starting over and starting from scratch. And that's one of the things that's helped me finish pieces is giving myself that freedom of like as Bob Ross would say, this is mine. What happens here on this canvas is all up to me, and nobody can tell me what to do. I am the CEO of this painting right now. It's all me. Nobody has any say in what's happening. So that's been really cool. So the reason I'm going to do coloring editions of these is because last year, with all this COVID stuff, there was a lady who had seen one of my paintings, and because I do such bright, brilliant colors, and I can't remember exactly which piece it was, but she asked me if I ever do coloring pages or have ever done a coloring book. And I'm like, no, but that's a great idea. So when I started this project with the haiku series, as I do each piece, before I add any color to them, I've been scanning them and taking pictures of them so that I can do the coloring book. So that not only could someone enjoy whatever I did or however I painted it, but if they want to, take their own creativity with the same painting or same images as mine, they can use their own color. Oh, damn it. They can use their own color choices. Because my color choices are very different than what other people, not everybody else, but I will put some shit together that people would tell you don't match. Like Martha Stewart and I would probably, she'd be probably going, what the fuck are you doing? What are you putting that color next to that color? I mean, I can just hear her probably going off on some of my choices with color. And I'll be like, shut up, Martha. It works for me. It works for me. Oh. I don't know why all of a sudden all this purple, I want all this purple in here. I haven't used this much purple in a painting in a long time. Good though. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. I've never thought about being open to myself, and you're right. Who's to dictate what should and shouldn't mix? Exactly. Yeah, man. Sometimes I don't even plan it. It was so cool. One time I was on here, and my brother and one of my other newer follows were on here, and I was using markers to do one of the haiku pages. And the girl, she's so cute. She asked me, she goes, what made you pick that color that you're working on right now? Like the one I was using right there. And my answer was that it was the closest color to my hand when I went to grab a marker. That was my answer. That's, you know, like, oh my God. That's why, like, my art would not be considered like realistic, I guess is it. Like, I had a friend actually describe it to me once, and she made, like, cause I didn't really even know what category to even say my art was in, but it's called abstract realism. So it's basically taking an idea or taking a real thing, like this is a real bridge, right? But I'm going to make this abstract. I'm going to make this bridge look like something clearly not in this world. You know, like, I mean, I doubt that any architecture bridge maker out there is going to put pink in the beams on a bridge or paint the beams pink. But I am, okay, this pink fuchsia color right here needed to be on this side of the beams. Don't ask me why, I don't know. All I know is that now it's there. You know, there's like, it's a bridge, but I think my head is also kind of seeing a stage in like a theater, like where plays, like a, you know, like a Broadway play is about to commence. I can see that, and you know, I could easily turn this into that, you know, without even having to really do much to it. Very, very similar kind of flare thing going on right now. But yeah, Bob Ross talks about that on his show quite a bit, about the freedom of your paintings or the freedom of your art being what makes you happy. What suits you, because yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but if what I'm doing, like if I didn't like what I'm doing right here, I would not be doing this. Definitely. I couldn't, it's one of the reasons why, I mean, I just can't fathom doing art as a job. Maybe if I had the freedom to do my art the same way I do it right now, like if someone said, okay, I want a painting of yours, I'd be like, all right. But like if they told me they wanted one that doesn't exist, and like I have had one commission in the whole time I've done paintings. I had one lady commission me, and all she said was all she said was that she loved blue irises. And she's like, I don't care what you do with it. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care about any other part of it. But that was her only request, because I can't do constraints of a bunch of like dictates of what they would want in a painting or whatever. So I usually don't even bother taking commissions or asking people if they want. No, I don't even usually have that discussion. I had one time it came up, someone wanted me to do a mural, and they had a very specific idea of what it was, and they were like literally spending like, I think it was like a 15-minute conversation, and I'm listening to this guy describe this mural, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to paint that yourself. Yeah, if someone has their plan for their mural so outlined and detailed like that, dude, no, you got the wrong artist. I'm not that girl. You know, I know there are. Fuck me. I just got paint. Okay, Bob Ross would call that a happy mistake. Okay, like those are gonna. What would he say? I'm like, we're gonna turn those into birds. We're gonna make those happy birds or some shit. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of artists out there that would hear exactly what that person wanted for their mural thing, and then give them exactly what they wanted and do it exactly how they asked them to, blah, blah, blah. I'm so not that's not me. I'm not that artist. I mean, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll try. Maybe someday. We'll see. We will see. Never say never. Now I definitely know never say never. I mean, I haven't had anyone come to me and ask me to do something, so I don't know. I don't know what my answer would be. I guess it would depend. I guess it would depend on the question. That's so cool that that green that was behind the brown, that's now behind the green and the brown and the purple, kind of looks yellow. And it's cool because it's like this behind color background behind everything. It's cool. It's very cool. Came out just perfect. It adds character. I'm still baffled at this painting. I've always thought of abstract as a bunch of randomness, but it feels more like an expression now rather than an art style. Yeah, see, I'm right with you. Like when I hear abstract, I think of something I can't tell what it is, and that would be an abstract. But abstract realism is a whole different, it's a real thing, but it's abstract, meaning it's not real. Like it doesn't look exactly like the real thing. And that's how it was explained to me. I didn't go to art school, but the woman who was explaining it to me did. So I guess I was just taking her word for it. The other thing I know I do, and I wouldn't classify myself necessarily as a symbolist, or symbolism, or whatever it's called. Gustav Klimt is my favorite painter. He was my favorite, and his genre varied. I think there was a few different ways he was described, but symbolism was one of them. He did a lot of work with, according to what I read about him, and I do that. I will put something in my paintings or use a certain kind of symbol to represent something, a symbolic something, whatever it might be. Like, this is a bridge. I've said that a couple times. These look, like parts of the bridge, parts of the railing, but I made them in the shapes of humans. I made them in the shapes of humans. Because in the haiku, this particular bridge painting is, oh, just jumped out of my skin. Got a message from my sweetheart. So yeah, I'm going to answer him right now. Hi, I'm painting. I had my phone out as the point of reference because I was using the picture of the haiku, but I'm at a point now, and I don't need the picture anymore because this is, yeah. So going back to what I was saying, these humans that I made, they're part of the railing, but I made them look like humans because in the haiku, it's talking about, it's a dark haiku. It's talking about, hopelessness and stuff. And pictures of people on a bridge. I also apologize if I'm not making the most sense. Oh, I've been there. You don't need, yeah. That used to be how I used to cope. I haven't, yeah. Realize now that was wrong. Oh, well, get this. Forgive my friend. Be kind to yourself. I think that we are so way too hard on ourselves. So start with that. Okay. So no, maybe you have been drinking. Maybe you can't have a conversation. Forgive yourself right now. Okay. Because that happens. We're human. You're human. That's just what we are. On any given day, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter what I try, no matter what I attempt, the best I'm ever going to be on any given day is human. That's it. I'm not going to attain some superstar status, like godlike thing, like an angel from heaven or God himself. That's never going to happen. The greatest thing I'm ever going to be is human. That's it. It really is. So forgive yourself and give yourself a break, because the last person in this entire world you should ever have not on your side is you. Always be your own best friend. Always remember to be your own best friend. We got enough stuff to deal with in this world with other people and their bullshit. The last thing we need to do is be mean to ourselves. Just shut that shit down. So. What time is it? Oh, yeah. I'm kind of almost at a stopping point because I think like this is one of those things. So my paintings are never anything that I can do in one sitting. I have done some in one sitting. But I learned a long time ago that once I get to a certain point with them, I usually let them dry and sit for a while. Because I need to look at them. Like I actually have a piece on my wall right now that it's I've worked on them like 3 or 4 times or some shit. I can't remember. All I know is that he's not ready for me to work on him again yet, because I'm still musing over what I'm going to do next to him. It's an oil painting. It was my first oil painting, and he's not done yet. He's the first one I ever dealt with oil, and it's okay. I'm doing a pretty okay thing with the oil. Like, I'm liking it. I'm kind of liking it. But I went from thinking that he wasn't dark enough, and then he was too dark, and now he's too dark again. And so I don't know. So he's in a timeout. Hold on, I gotta turn this around. He is in a timeout, and I don't know when I will take him down and work on him again. He's an oil, so it kind of, part of the challenge is, if I get him down to work on him, I gotta get the oil cleanser stuff ready and different towels and different brushes. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Because oil's not the same as like this. All I need to do a watercolor is a freaking cup of water and my palette. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. So, you're my sweetie. I hope you're okay, and I hope you're still there. So yeah, what I do, like on my I have another channel that I do spiritual guidance and just advice and mentorship. And what I suggest is get a box of crayons. Like, for real. Like, get a coloring book and a box of crayons and make yourself color. I know it sounds kindergartenish, it sounds trivial or kiddish or whatever. And you know what? Fuck that. Who cares? Go color, okay? For real. Because too many of us as adults don't let ourselves live or behave like a kid enough. We don't do it. We don't embrace that childlike, that child inside of us, that little girl or little boy that still wants to have some fun, man. Take your shoes off. Go walk in the grass barefoot. Definitely take your shoes off. You can stop whenever you need. I'm just happy I found the stream. I hope you subscribed. Um, yeah, so that's a good point. And I think I said that before, but I'll say it again. If you're feeling really shitty right now and you know that you're still kind of sad, take your fucking shoes off. If you have your shoes on, you need to take them off. You can't be crazy barefoot. It's not possible. Too many of us wear shoes way too much, and part of it you know, there's so many reasons to take the shoes off, but one of them is the freedom and of just not being bound, not being confined. The other part is that all of our nerve endings, no matter all of it, for everything in our body, the bottoms and soles of our feet is the one area that everything is connected to. All of it, the organs, everything. So yeah, take the shoes off. So get the shoes off, and then rub the bottoms of the feet in carpet or grass or gravel or something. Even if you just put them in soak them. Give yourself a foot massage. Any of that stuff, all of that stuff, all of it or just some of it. You do whatever you need to do, but if your shoes are on, it's like usually one of my first questions when someone calls me, someone I mentor, when they call me and they're spinning and they're losing their mind or they're going crazy, it's usually one of the first questions I ask them. Did you have your shoes on? Take them off. Take them off. Yeah. It's amazing, but it's very necessary. Okay, what green am I using? Oh yeah, I want to use more. I want to use more green here. I definitely have Mardi Gras in my head because I've, I don't know if it's the bridge thing or if it's the haiku thing or what, but I used a lot of the Mardi Gras colors, which is kind of cool. That's cool. Works for me. One thing this piece doesn't have that almost all of my, you can't be crazy barefoot. I believe I'm the exception. Cal says can't even walk on the hot concrete. Oh. There's a word for that, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. When your feet are when you actually are acclimated to being barefoot. No, tenderfoot. A tenderfoot is when you aren't. So you're the opposite. I was listening. There's this survivalist guru guy that I was watching this podcast, and they were talking about, because like he was saying that every summer he has to train his feet to go barefoot, like what you are saying you can. Live my so much, yeah. But he was talking about how like if it was up to him, he'd never put shoes on. But in winter, of course, you can't. I mean, you could go barefoot, but it's not as easy, than it would be in summer. So it was anyway. He was talking about how every summer he would have to like do that. He'd have to get his bottoms of his soles accustomed to being barefoot. So, but the you can't be crazy barefoot thing doesn't really help if you've got like, I mean, it will help to a certain degree, but is it going to cure everything? Probably not. Probably not. I just find for me that it's a good start. That's a good start. That and a whole bunch of other stuff that I use in practice or try to use in practice. Whoa. I hate shoes, yeah. I have I'm mostly barefoot most of the day. I do have a pair of slippers that I use sometimes to walk around the house because I don't want my feet to get dirty, or if I'm going to go outside, check the mail or something. Otherwise, I'm mostly always barefoot. Okay. I think I'm done for now. I think I want to leave it sit, and I might actually get out some of the acrylics to do more to this. Oh, I kind of like that. It's so funny how like I'm like, oh, I think I'm done. Oh, wait, no, let me do this thing over here, like this crazy weird thing that I didn't think about doing before, and I'm just going to smear all these colors into each other, you know, because that's just what I do. I do that every now and then because I want to see what it looks like. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm taking all my hard work and I'm making it messy. Because I don't know. I just felt like it. Oh my God, that piece I did earlier today, oh, I probably fucked it up to the point where I thought I was going to throw it away. At least 3 times. At least 3 times I looked at it and went, yeah, I'm going to just throw this away. And I just kept at it, and I just kept at it, and I just kept at it. Just kept at it, and I just kept at it. And I just kept at it. And then I eventually finished it. And I love the result. The result is so worth all of my craziness that I did today to finish it. And I'm glad I had my little craziness because it's way better than what I had thought it would be or had planned it to be. And it's different than anything else I had done or have done. So that was good. That was a good result. So this is what I did at the bottom. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I basically did a blending kind of thing to the colors. So they're not so, like with watercolors, as you can see, like they're very dry. Once they dry, they're dry, they're matte, there's no gloss, there's no sheen. Same thing's going to happen down there. It'll dry and it won't have any sheen. It won't have any gloss at all, which is fine. Because when I get done, like when I'm done with this to a point where I know I'm not going to touch it anymore, I will seal it with a gloss acrylic spray that I use, and it will soak up. It basically, the acrylic spray turns this watercolor. It turns my watercolor paintings into acrylics, basically. I like acrylic paint. I have tons of acrylic paint, and I usually, sometimes, once in a while, I'll do strictly acrylic, and I won't even bother with the watercolor. But I like doing it this way because the watercolors are so much easier to work with to do the majority of the painting because they dry way fast, like super fast. acrylics and oils take a long time to dry. So when you're working on the piece, sometimes it can be annoying because you're sitting there and you want to do more to it, or you want to finish it, or you want to whatever. Okay, good night. And you can't because it's wet. Well, I don't have that problem with the watercolor. I don't have that problem because it will dry. It will dry pretty fast. It will dry really fast. So that's always nice. And then if it's not drying fast enough, I can do certain things to make it dry. And I am going to stop there for the evening because I have a feeling I'm going to kind of take the top and do a similar blending type of scenario thing like I did down here. But I want to make sure that it dries. I mean, it's dry. This is dry. This is totally dry. But it's still slightly damp. Not exactly 100% dry. So before I do anything more to it, I'm gonna let it dry. And that's good because I always, like I said, I like to do that on purpose actually sometimes, because when I come back to this piece, my eyes will see something different. I will experience it different. I'll get a different idea. And who knows what it'll finally look like at the end. Please update me when I return. Always just check my page. I usually try to go live at least once a day. Now that I'm doing it. So have a good evening.